Hey guys, and welcome to another devlog video for the Animal Behavior Kit. I am super excited today because I believe this is the last devlog before I get to submit the project to Epic Games in a couple of days. I have, as far as I know, fixed every bug that I've been keeping track of for months. I had a spreadsheet, as you can see, it actually minimized there with a bunch of features, bugs, testing scenarios, documentation things, just a heap of stuff that I've been knocking out one by one, and fixing as I go. Last night, I believe I fixed the last two issues that I've had. Everything is replicated, which took me forever, but everything that is part of the kit, every single component, system, everything works in multiplayer out of the box, which I think is amazing. If you're making a multiplayer game, this will work out of the box. And on top of that, I added a couple additional things as I am basically polishing and finalizing everything. So today I wanted to give you first the good news that I am literally days away from submission. And second, I wanted to show you guys the extra few things that I've added in the last couple of days. Yeah, if you are a member of the Discord, you may have seen some pictures. A few days ago, I posted some pictures of this level here. This is going to be the showcase level. I'm basically following a similar format from the format I've used for my procedural foliage placement tool. If you guys saw that video, it's basically like a little road, and as you follow it around, you'll have little pop-ups that give you kind of descriptions of what you're seeing, right? So as I'm walking here, you'll get a little welcome message, and then it'll talk to you about behaviors, roaming behaviors, and then you have like little pens here. As you can see, I made a little fence tool, and you can have the animals in different pens here. And in this case, you're seeing the random location in nav mesh, roam behavior, and here you're seeing the random location in bounds. So you can see you can set your specific bounds, and it goes on and on. And as you follow the road, it'll have different behaviors like flee, you can see, and then hide, which is another behavior, defend, etc. I'm gonna make a separate video, just me going through the entire level. I'm not gonna be talking, just so you guys can see kind of a tour of the level and everything that the level contains. Most of the functionality is showcased here. There's a few things that I'm not showcasing here. For example, like the day-night cycle. It's just too hard to fit with everything else, so that's not gonna be here, but I would say most of the main components are showcased here. So anyway, what's new since last devlog? So the first thing I wanted to show you guys is more improvements to the ground animal base class. And again, on the Discord, I put a picture of this, but I recognize most of you guys are not. So now you have a new struct called random movement, and you can see that it's under setup. So you have all of your engage modes, you have your behavior details, and now there's a little struct called random movement. And the idea here is that we want to add randomness to the animals in the scene. Right now, if the max walk speed is, let's say, 500, all of the animals are going to be walking at the exact same speed, and that doesn't really look natural. So something as simple as adding a very small variation in speed and acceleration makes all the difference in the world, especially if you have a lot of different animals in the scene. So what you can see here is I have two categories, and these are actually factors, right? So this is, one is for 100%, 0.7 is 70%. So instead of having an actual number, what you have is a factor. So basically, every time the AI moves, every single time, no matter what roaming behavior, it'll grab the current speed that you specified, and it'll grab a random range between, in this case, 0.7 and 1, and it'll multiply the speed by that factor. In other words, every time the AI moves, it could go between 70% to 100% of the speed that you selected, and in this case between 50% to 100% of the acceleration. And this happens every time the AI picks a new target. So even if it's roaming around, every time it roams for one location and stops, it'll pick yet another random value. That way, even within the same animal, you'll have randomness. And I've broken it down by normal, which is when it's roaming, and engage, which is when it's basically aggro. So to showcase this, let's make this that's like 0.1 acceleration and 1, and max speed 0.1 and 1. And the reason for that is because I want, hopefully, you guys to see the randomness when this guy here walks around. So if I just click play, you can see now that right now, look how slow he's walking. And again, you probably don't want to use such extreme ranges, but this is just to prove a point, right? And as soon as this guy gets to his original destination, it'll pick another value from that range, and then it'll start walking again. There you go. You can see here now it picked a slightly higher speed, goes to its next destination, and from there it'll pick yet another value, which could be, in this case, it looks actually even higher. There you go. I'm gonna go ahead and set that back before I forget. 0.7 and 0.5. But this is really cool because, again, even between class of animals, you can add variation here. And you can go, of course, above 100%, right? You can put 2, right, which would be 200% of the original speed. So you can do whatever you want here. So that right there adds a lot more variety with very little effort, right? But again, makes it look more natural. The other thing I added was to the companions. And I'm going to just come here, and I'm going to grab this guy, the doe. Actually, before I do that, let me just share what it is. So basically, I've added healing, a way to heal your companion. Usually in games, your companion is going to get damaged, right? You can actually make your companion attack another animal, or your companion can get attacked, right? So there was before no way for you to heal your pet, right? So how are you going to heal your pet? Eventually it'll just die off. So what I did now is I added 2 modes of healing, and you can see here now there's a new tab called Healing Details on your companion component, and you have an option to heal it with a bait. So if you have bait, you can just throw bait at your companion, it'll actually heal it. Or you even have an auto healing option with a delay. So this is kind of similar to a lot of the modern games. If after X amount of time you don't take any damage, your health will regenerate. So that's kind of the same idea here. So in this case, the default is both heal with the bait and heal automatically after 30 seconds of not taking any damage. So with that said, let me just hit play, and I'm going to tame this guy, and I'm actually going to do it damage myself. So you can see he's taking some damage. Look at his health here. And now after 30 seconds, it should regenerate. And again, this is fairly simple. I just had to completely regenerate to full. If you wanted something more sophisticated, you can add you can add more delays, or you can make it regenerate slowly, after X percentage, right? 25% per second or something. But in this case, I wanted to do something very simple. You can see now that it's in full health. So if I go ahead and damage it again, what I can do is I can now shoot bait. Let me just go back up a little bit. And you can see now that it healed immediately. So now you have those 2 options to auto-generate, auto-heal your pet. Another cool thing I just added earlier today was in this section of the level, this is showcasing the looking for mates component, and it's basically the breeding system, right? So you have a component called look for mate, and what this does is it basically looks for a partner after X amount of seconds. In this case, it's every 45 seconds. And if I actually select the male here, in this case, every 30 seconds, it'll look for a mate within 20,000, with a radius of 20,000. If it finds a species of the same, if it finds another animal of the same species but opposite sex, it'll actually go to that and then they'll breed. Then you have like a breeding timer here. You have like little hearts that pop up. You have a male and female class. You can even select random offspring and a min and a max, right? So two things that I've added here. If you saw previous videos, there was a small bug where even when they started breeding, one of the animals would just keep running. And you can even see that on the Circle of Life video. And it took me forever to figure out. I used several methods. There's a stop movement node from the AI controller that for some reason didn't seem to work very well. There's a stop immediately from the character movement component that also didn't stop very well. So I figured out a way of making this finally stick. Sorry about that. I'm sure you can figure out from my voice that I'm a little sick these days. So two things. Finally, every time they mate, they actually now stop. And second, another thing I noticed is when the children come, if the mother is in a corner and the children spawn around her, they can sometimes block her movement. And that was pretty annoying, right? Because, well, you kind of want collision for the animals. But what happens is that you would see like a doe in a corner with 3 or 4 young bucks or young does, and she will not be able to move, and she'll just be stuck there. So I've added another option, and this is part of the grow old component. And if I just open it here, now you have under setup, you have an option to disable collision. And you can see the actual code right here. So basically, if disable collision or no collision is enabled, what it'll do is it'll ignore the collision channel for the pawn, effectively having no collision only for other pawns, and that solved the issue. So if I just I'm gonna follow this guy real quick so I can show you guys what I mean. So if I'm just gonna follow him, and you can see at the top right corner the biggest need is roam. It's kind of hard to see there. You're right under AI state. As soon as that biggest need changes to breed, you'll see that he goes automatically starts looking for the doe, and that should come up really quickly. That's about 30 seconds. And you can see breed, and immediately is now going after her. She doesn't even know that this is happening, because in this case I decided that the male is the one that's going to look for the female. And you can see here, hopefully one of these days, there you go, they catch up, they both stop immediately, and then the female has, in this case, I believe 2 young bucks. She needs to move and then you'll see them. Yep, no, a buck and a doe, 3. But you can see now that they are actually they're kind of moving around fast. I wanted to stop, but you can see that there is no collision now between them. So there is no possibility now that they're going to get stuck. And you can see now, I'm going to turn off the debugging, that this poor doe has a lot of kids right now that are just following her around. And I don't remember what the timer is. I think it's 30 seconds or 45 seconds before these guys grow up. But you can see now she's in a corner. Well, they're kind of on top of her. Oh, they're going to breed again. Yeah, maybe I should adjust the timer before I release this, guys. They're breeding pretty quickly here, but you can see what I'm talking about here, that they don't get stuck anymore because there is no collision. There you go. Cool. What else? Oh, and the last thing I wanted to share, this I would say it's not really minor. But let me just show you what it is. So right now, the way I'm doing the perception is using Unreal's AI perception component, and this is kind of supposed to be the proper way of having your AI detect other AI. And you can see here that if I go into the census config for the site, AI site config, you have a site radius. And you can see here, for example, loose site radius at 3,500, peripheral vision. So you can actually change your settings here to whatever number you want. So obviously, the higher the radius, obviously the farther the AI can see, and therefore aggro. But these values, unfortunately, you cannot change at runtime via Blueprint for some reason. You can do it in C++, but you can't do it in Blueprint. So what I did instead, because again, I don't really have much of a choice since I'm doing everything in Blueprint, is that I've added a new value called max engage distance right here. And right now it's 3,000. But the point is that if you want your AI to have a smaller value, then you can actually change this per instance and obviously at runtime. So if you want it, you could have your default value instead of 3,000 be something way bigger, like 20,000, right? For some animals, and then you can change the value here, and then it'll basically act as a subset of that initial value. Why is this useful? You may want, for example, the male bears to have a bigger engaged distance than a female bear, or vice versa. Maybe you want the female to have a bigger distance, right? Or maybe you want the young cubs to have a much smaller distance, right? So there's a variety of reasons why you would want that. So there it is. Those are the things that I've added. Obviously, what you don't see is the dozens and dozens of test cases and bug fixes, and carefully making this level kind of flow properly so I can showcase all of the systems. Obviously, all of the focus is here on the ground animals. I just have one example of the fish, and this is kind of when you're kind of walking around under the lake, and one example of birds, and one example here at the end of the AI director. And it kind of ends here with a nice little view of the rest of the level. So that's pretty much it. I need to do one final pass on the code, make sure that everything's commented, that there's no unnecessary things. Basically go through the epics guidelines one last time. It's probably going to be what I'm going to do later tonight and tomorrow. And I am hoping that I can submit this. So yeah, I am super excited, guys. I know that a lot of people have been messaging me, asking me about the ETA. And this has definitely taken me way longer than I expected. If you look at the first video, it was all the way in January. And we're in November now, actually almost December. So it took me almost a full year to get this done. But it's way better than my original plan, including adding the multiplayer and a bunch of extra stuff. So hopefully it was worth the wait. Wait for the video showcasing the level, which probably is going to come out at some point tomorrow. Let me know what you think, guys. And yeah, thanks a lot for your support. Hopefully the wait was worth it, and I will talk to you in the next video. Thanks a lot.